Other than that, cement counters are also in focus as the promises made as part of the elections, that is having an impact on the cement counters. Also, we spoke to a couple of companies as well. ACC was in focus mainly because they've announced the expansion plans in Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh as well. Also, we spoke to JSW Cement, which is an unlisted player, and they expect the demand for the cement to be very strong going ahead. Also, we can take a look at how the cement stocks are doing at this point in time. Most of them are in positive right now. So let's hear out to what JSW Cement spoke to us earlier during the day.
We are at 12.8 million tons per annum, and we intend by 1st of March, we hopefully should be, all things in place, we should be at 14 million tons per annum, and by 2020 I expect it to, we should be in the ballpark of 20 million tons, which is what we are aspiring for, and that's when we would probably be also targeting going for the IPO, and then of course the next wave thereafter.
Of course. So how are you reading into the trends of the cement space and the declining prices in the cement space? Is that a major concern? Is it more like a cost decline led price push, or is it more like a demand decline led price push? So in terms of the outlook that we carry, to be honest, we carry a very optimistic outlook, and it's fundamentally being driven and dictated by, of course, a huge trust in the infrastructure space. There, of course, is a cascading, the ripple effect that typically happens because of that, because of the economic activity which it fundamentally leads to. And of course, the third aspect is there's a genuine pent-up demand. So in terms of demand outlook, we are still very, very bullish about how it's going to shape up. The prices going down now, typically Q2 is when, with the monsoon setting in, typically we see prices under a little bit of stress. And of course, the fact that during this period there were some basic raw materials which were also pushing upward in terms of pet coke prices and coal prices, which now have actually corrected when Q3 started. So to that extent, it's not being driven so much by the cost push pressure. It's fundamentally the supply-demand gap which is kind of increasing, hence the decline in prices that you're fundamentally noticing. But the outlook going forward, as we see it, Q3, Q4, we expect these prices to look up. And usually in cement, as all of us know, it's usually Q3 and Q4 is when there is a significant amount of demand, and hence also the prices start to look up much better. Absolutely, sir. So what's the sort of impact that you're currently seeing, because the raw material prices or maybe the pet coke prices have declined, and also the crude prices have sharply declined. What's your sense there, if you could give us some understanding? So all of us understand the, in terms of power and fuel, and let me address it at that headline. Power and fuel constitutes close to 22 to 25% of the cost base. So any impact in terms of the basic input cost there has a direct impact in terms of our cost structures. So any decline there directly translates into benefits to the industry. So that's how it would fundamentally flow. Yes, we did face a little bit of stress when it went up during the period. I think it was August and September. But thereon, since it has kind of plateaued down, it's declining. So I think we look forward to some better times. So give us some color around your IPO plans. What's the sort of timeline that you have in mind, and how much funds are you planning to raise through the IPO? Okay. So as I was saying, we're targeting close to 20 million tons by 2020. That's when we believe it's probably a good size for us to get into go into the market, raise more capital. And at around 75-80% utilization, we're talking about close to anywhere between 15 to 16 million tons. At around 750 to 800 rupees a ton, we're talking about 1,350 crores to 1,500 crores.
Alright, so that was JSW Cement management speaking to us. Separately, ACC has announced its capacity expansion plans after a gap of many quarters.